Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dana and today I made these awesome Easter cakes because Easter is gonna be here in just a few days here in Romania, and I want to show you how I made them. You can make them with any occasion. We just serve them for Easter. For the dough I'm gonna use flour, 600 grams of flour, 220 grams of sugar, 200 grams of soft butter, 200 milliliters of milk, 6 egg yolks, fresh yeast 25 grams, vanilla extract, and I have 8 grams of vanilla sugar because these cakes are super flavorful, so add vanilla sugar as well. Candied lemon zest, fresh zest from an orange and a lemon, and raisins and cranberries, about 100 grams of dry fruits. In warm milk I'm gonna crumble these fresh yeast. If you don't have fresh yeast, you can use dry one. About 7 grams is more than enough for this dough, but make sure not to put it in really hot milk. You need milk just to be warm to the touch. I'm gonna mix it with that milk. I'm gonna add over it some sugar, about 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 1 or 2 tablespoons of flour. Mix everything together and leave it aside for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna separate the eggs. I told you that I need only 6 egg yolks. So I'm gonna separate egg whites from egg yolks. All ingredients must be at room temperature. Flour, butter, eggs. I'm gonna sift the flours, not because flour these days has any impurities, but this way we bring more air into the flour and the dough will be more fluffy, so the dough is gonna be awesome, and the cake's also super fluffier. I'm sifting the flour in the mixer bowl because I'm gonna knead this dough with the mixer. I'm calling Ruby my mixer. I'm pouring over that flour the yeast with milk that stood for about 10 minutes aside, and as you can see it's more like a foam now. And I'm gonna start kneading these with a hook. I will add sugar over, and the rest of the ingredients I'm gonna add lemon zest, orange zest, that candied lemon zest. I will add also egg yolks, but make sure to knead this dough really good for at least 10 minutes. The longer you knead it, the fluffier the dough will be. I will add salt, about 1 teaspoon of salt, because this way we bring out the sweetness of the cakes. Add egg yolks. As you can see, the egg yolks that I'm using are really intense color, so the dough will look amazing. I didn't melt the butter, I just used it at room temperature, so I'll cut it in smaller pieces and add it over the dough and continue to knead until this will be fully incorporated. You will have to leave the dough to rise at room temperature, so make sure that your kitchen is nice and warm and the dough will be cozy and will rise until it's gonna be double in size. But we're still here with the kneading. I always use the hook for kneading, and I'm doing this. I'm using the mixer at the lowest speed because I don't want to overwork the engine. After I knead this with a mixer, I will also knead it for a bit with my hands for a minute or two. On the working surface, I put a bit of flour because I want to feel the texture of it. And also now I'm gonna add those dry fruits, raisins and cranberries in this dough, and I'm gonna knead them all together for a minute or two. I'm gonna put the dough back into the mixer bowl and cover the bowl with a plastic bag or cling film and leave it to rise at room temperature until it's gonna be double in size. After that, I split the dough in 6 equal parts and I shape them as round balls, and I'm gonna bake these in aluminum tins that I've made myself using some cans like sweet corn cans or peas, because I wanted them to be different sizes, so I couldn't find to buy these types of things, so I made them myself. But you can actually use just some simple cans that you empty the content and you clean them and dry them really good. You can grease them with some butter, powder them with flour and use them. If not, just use aluminum foil like I did. Just wrap them up around the can tin and use them. So I put the dough in these aluminum tins, and I'm gonna let them rise at room temperature for about 10 more minutes. In the meantime, I am preheating the oven at 180 Celsius because I'm gonna bake this in the oven. I'm showing you here how I made one of those tins from aluminum foil. So I use a can just as a start base. Shape the aluminum foil around it, cut it, take out the can, and I use a few staples to pin it down, and this is it. So I'm gonna bake them in the oven, and after that let them cool down. I bake them for about 25 minutes at 180 Celsius or 300 Fahrenheit, 350 Fahrenheit. And I will decorate them using 2 egg whites and 120 grams of sugar. I'm gonna put egg whites with the sugar in a metal bowl, and I'm gonna mix them up really good. And I am heating up some water on the stove, and when that water is gonna start boiling, I'm gonna put this boil over the pot. And I'm gonna continue to mix above that hot water until the sugar will dissolve. It will take only a few minutes, but this way we're making an awesome glaze, a really white glaze, and also we ensure that the eggs are cooked. So we're not gonna use raw eggs to decorate the cakes. So continue to mix until that sugar will be dissolved. And you are ready now to decorate the cakes. So after they cool down, I'm just gonna take some of that lovely glaze and put on top of them, and use all kinds of sprinkles or nuts. I use also pistachio and cranberries to decorate them. It's up to you. Let your creativity serve you now, and do them the prettiest that you can. And they're ready to be served. They looked awesome, and on the Easter cake they are the centerpiece of the Easter table. I use a few pistachio nuts. I just chop them up really fine with a knife, and also some cranberries, and sprinkle them on top of the cakes. I hope you liked the recipe, and I really hope you're gonna try it out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, find reasons to smile, and I'll see you here next time with another recipe. And in the past week I posted everyday recipes because I told you Easter will be here soon, so I want to inspire you with some of the recipes and to show you a bit of my culture. Bye bye.